What do you do when the person who's supposed to protect you becomes the one who tries to destroy you? 3,000 years ago, that question wasn't just hypothetical, it was David's reality. David was chosen, anointed, celebrated, but none of that could shield him from envy. King Saul, once a father figure, was crumbling under his own pride. "They sing his name louder than mine," Saul would mutter, his hand tightening around a spear. And then it happened. Without warning, Saul hurled the spear at David, the same David who had soothed his torment with music, the same David who had slain Goliath in Saul's name. David barely escaped. From that moment on, he was no longer a hero. He was a fugitive. He ran from the palace to the wilderness. The people he once protected joined in the pursuit. The king he had served now sought his life. And then he came to Adullam, a cave, cold, isolated, empty. In that cave, David reached his lowest point. No army, no home, no answer from heaven. He cried out to God, "How long, O Lord, will you forget me forever?" But in the silence, he made a choice. He reached for his harp, not his sword, and he sang, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." From betrayal came beauty, from sorrow, songs. The Psalms we read today were not written in comfort, but in caves. He wrote, "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me." Others began to gather, men who were broken, bitter, in debt and despair, and they found hope through David's worship. The cave became a sanctuary. And one day, Saul unknowingly wandered into that very cave, vulnerable and alone. David had the chance to end it all, the fear, the chase, the pain, but he didn't take it. Instead, he spared Saul's life. He said, "I will not stretch out my hand against the Lord's anointed," because the cave had changed him. He no longer needed a throne to know he was chosen. Years passed, the battles ended, and one day, David was crowned king. But his crown wasn't forged in the palace. It was forged in the cave. The Psalms birthed in darkness became songs of light for generations. He wrote, "I would have lost heart unless I had believed I would see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living." And maybe you're in a cave right now, betrayed, broken, alone. But David's story reminds us God does his deepest work in the darkest places. Don't waste your cave. Let it forge your song. And remember, joy comes in the morning. Psalm 30, verse 5, "Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning." What psalm is your cave season writing? Don't give up before your sunrise. Subscribe if you believe your story isn't over.